Hey guys, SoCal Val here. You are listening to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast.
Cool. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Hitting the Turnbuckle. This is the NWA Power Review Show. I've literally just got in from work. I was talking to my lovely colleague before we've come on air. I've literally just changed from my shirt to my United Empire wrestling t-shirt. But I am Adam Cousins, as always, and if it's NWA, that's only one woman we're talking about. It's Fiona. Good evening.
Good evening, my love. How are you?
Good. I am okay. Tired but cool. How are you? How are you doing?
I'm okay. It's been a long week, a long work week. I am glad it is almost the weekend. I'm almost at the finish line.
We are almost at the finish line, but we can't get to the finish line without talking NWA. We definitely can't. Before we do, there's actually news. So obviously, like we normally do, and if you've watched our other review shows, and we've done it a couple of times on the NWA, if there's any news that's happened before or after, before we record, shall we say, the show, we talk about it. There's three sets I want to talk about. We'll get to the main one in a minute. And you've been laughing before I even started to try to pronounce the woman's name, so I'm going to just call her Maddie.
Maddie Rankowski. I probably said it wrong now and really annoyed her, but never mind.
That would be good because I actually had something else written down, so kind of not in a bad way, just the last name. Looks as though she's signed for NXT in the WWE. Not a big surprise because of how talented she is, but a bit of a loss for NWA.
Yeah, absolutely. But I am super excited for her. I know I've said before I saw her in action at TSW in Dallas when I was out there earlier this year. I love watching her work. I think she's got a good look about her. I love her personality. She's got a huge personality. I am really excited to see what she can bring to the table over there. But yeah, absolutely a loss. And obviously it means no more M95 tag team, which means Missa Kate's on her own at the moment. So we'll see where that goes for her as well.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, it's a big loss.
Her birthday today, by the way. Happy birthday, Missa.
Happy birthday, Missa. Yes. But we will see how Maddie does. Once everything, I suppose she'll get a random NXT name. They'll pull the name generator out, and we'll see.
Oh God, it could be anything per girl.
What they give her. Second one was more to do with a contract that's due up, which is the Brick House. That's Camille. Due end of the year. I think she's one of those ones where she's on such good terms that she could probably work without a contract, but I don't think there'll be any. Well, what I was going to say is I think there'll be a lot of suitors for Camille.
I would imagine so. I would imagine so. I have not hidden the fact that I love that woman. She's an absolute queen. She was just phenomenal. Holding the World Women's Championship for the NWA. I imagine the sky's the limit for her, basically, if that even is a limit for her.
Yeah, definitely so.
Yeah.
I would, if I, well, I'm not a betting man or anything like that, or I wouldn't. I'm not even going to advise Camille where to go. I think she'd be a good fit in TNA, the new TNA. I think
I'd actually like to see her potentially not sign, which means that she can. Well, I suppose with the NWA talent that they generally do tend to work elsewhere.
Yeah.
So I'd quite like to see her kind of almost be freelance and be self-employed and just go wherever she pleases and wherever books her. But you really just never know. I'm excited to see what happens with her. So I would hope that we still continue to see her in the NWA, regardless of whether she is signed to a contract or not. So I guess it's going to be a case of watch this space in the new year for her.
Watch this space. It's a bit like the Outrunners. They've been on AEW quite a lot. So
yeah.
We'll see what happens with her. Now, the big news, which is kind of good, but kind of bad for us Brits, you did tweet about this a little bit, a bit of concern. So NWA Power is now streaming on the CW app, which obviously is fantastic news for the NWA.
I'm delighted for them.
Yes, absolutely. Kind of puts to bed any rumors that they didn't get any type of deal, because there was that going around recently. It was great. But the news potentially that's going to hamper people, say people like us, but the Brits or anywhere else apart from America.
Anywhere outside the USA, basically, is what happens. What's going to happen moving forward? What I seem to have seen is that NWA didn't announce that they were going on the CW app. I think they just happen to appear on it, and somebody's gone, oh my God, NWA are on the CW app now. And they've kind of had to obviously say, yeah, okay, we're here. There's been no word about what's going to happen moving forward, moving into 2024. I know that the current episode, I think it's only the last, I don't know if it's all the seasons or if it's just season 15 that's on.
Yeah.
I also know that it wasn't streaming live. So it was only previous episodes, particularly of this season, potentially others that are on there. But yeah, you're right. I did post about it. There's been no word moving about next year and about what the plans are.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, I'm slightly concerned that it might get pulled from YouTube. There's plenty of people who said to me, "Oh, you can just get a VPN." I'm like, I'm not paying for a VPN to watch it. I'm sorry, I'm not. Like, I'm not going to do that. But I can't understand why an app would purchase or go into a contract with NWA and still allow it to stream for free on YouTube. It does not make any sense to me at all, that. I'm not a business-minded person, though, so I could be completely pie in the sky and off the ball here. But I'm just concerned that it might not be on YouTube. And what does that mean for the rest of the world?
Exactly that. And even, if it even airs on a delay on YouTube, it's not ideal because you can read up on.
It's not. It's really not. Because if the whole world are seeing it on a Tuesday night and it doesn't come out to YouTube on a Friday, then we're not getting to potentially podcast until Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And that's maybe a selfish thing for me, but why would we want to podcast almost a week after it's aired? It just
doesn't make
don't know.
sense. It also doesn't make sense from a viewing from a viewing standpoint, in terms of YouTube gives you access to anywhere can watch. I mean, they went to Australia. I mean, the NWA wouldn't maybe not have been although everyone could know about Smashing Pumpkins, but people in Australia that went to watch the NWA as part of that tour then got to see it on YouTube, but potentially now won't be able to watch it. So what was the point in doing the Australia thing in the first place?
I don't know. It's another one, time's going to tell. I kind of wish that maybe they'd spoken a bit more about it and maybe said, look, these are the plans. Although, like I said, I almost feel like it was taken out of their hands.
Yeah.
And it's been kind of sprung on them. Who knows? Who knows?
Well, we'll have to, as you say, it's a bit like the Camille thing. It's watch this space, I suppose.
Very much so.
So anyway, let's move on to Powerr. It was a Thanksgiving start promo anyway as well that started about the turkey gobbler match, which was Aaron and CJ. Funny enough, it kicked off with that after Joe and Danny run down the show. I tell you what, I did like the crowd was so into that.
They were so hot. Poor Aaron on that mic. Now, Aaron is one of my favourite people on the show when he gets on the mic at the moment. He is on fire with his promos at the moment. They just drowned him out. They drowned him out. It was like boo Aaron as opposed to boo Kerry. It was glorious, and I just couldn't stop smiling. I loved it.
The best part about it is, unlike WWE, they didn't pipe in the crowd noise.
Are we going there?
Sorry, shoot time. But no, they didn't pipe in the noise. That they were very raucous. So this bit of raucous, whatever the word is. But he wasn't. He didn't have blunt force trauma. He had the carnies with him.
Yeah, that was surprising. I was expecting BFT to be there, but yeah, the Carney too, we don't know much about. Yeah, fun times. CJ looked a little bit scared, a little bit
terrified. He was still going like this every time.
I love her. She's brilliant. She just makes me laugh. She's like, ta-da! But no, it was fun for me. I've written a couple of notes about it, but I literally written right across the top of it, stupid but fun. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, crazy, stupid fun. A lot of it, Magic Inc. were there as well, obviously. They did have a little bit where the Carnies pulled CJ's leg, Magic Inc. come over and they started kicking off as well.
Yeah.
And then eventually, after a little bit of silliness in the ring with like holds and grappling, CJ puts Aaron Stevens in the STF and he tapped out.
And he taps.
Seeing
the
video package that's aired since that he's put out on social media, it's it's quite something. Nothing ever happened. He didn't wear the turkey.
Of course not. Why? Like, we were obviously seeing things.
We never saw it.
Obviously.
Yeah, we never saw him gobble like a turkey. We've never seen anything like that.
Oh, that's only because Barker held him down.
Yeah, he did need some convincing, shall we say, to put it on. But CJ wins that, which is good. It again cuts to Max, the Impaler, and Father James Mitchell, minus cocaine, thank Christ, at this point at the podium. He's talking about how dominant she's been.
And how order has been restored.
And order has been restored with Sal and Gags and everyone else, and how Max has just come back from Europe, I believe it was, or Japan, where she won another title.
She did indeed.
Then they mentioned that she was coming for Mims and also Kenzie at the same time.
Yeah, so it looks like that Max is going to go for Kenzie and going to go for the women's championships. But in the meantime, James is going to feed them more opponents. So he obviously has a little pool of I want to say minions that he is going to feed to Max, and Max is probably going to destroy every single one of them.
Be interested to see if Mims is one of them, because he did mention Mims.
I think Max versus Mims would actually be a really good match. Height-wise, I don't know what's in them. Size-wise, I think they're probably fairly similar. Max is incredibly strong. Mims is not called Big Strong Mims for nothing.
Nope.
I would kind of like to see the two of them go at it, to be honest with you.
So would I. I think it should happen somewhere down the line. Maybe it did happen when they went to robots. Who knows? We don't know.
Who knows?
We don't know yet. Followed up, funnily enough, by another page, this time Kylie, with a massive weight. It was a Big Mama. The crowd loved Big Mama, didn't they?
The crowd absolutely adored Big Mama, which was great.
It was going through this phase, and a lot of this match was Big Mama was too strong. She was doing a lot of power moves, but in the end, Kylie's quickness kind of was the decisive factor, because she kept trying to put Kylie in the corner, run and splash her, and ultimately it was the splash in the corner that she missed, where Kylie rolls her up and gets the free. Was surprising that she didn't put her feet on the ropes or something like just to gain that bit more of an advantage, but it managed to put it away in the end.
I think Kylie did great in that match, actually. To be honest, I thought I am enjoying watching her do her thing.
Yes.
And she's definitely not. I've heard people say, "Oh, she's in her sister's shadow." I wouldn't say that at all. I really wouldn't say that at all.
Tell you what, it wouldn't ever be interesting at one point if Kenzie decided to take on Kylie.
Could you imagine, like, Pretty and Power implode, and then
or Pretty and Foul
book it, Billy.
Or if you really want to book something, book them in a triple threat, all three of them.
Ooh, then a wee Roxy on the outside.
Yeah, I'm creative.
Oh, I like your thinking of that. That's cool.
Yeah, Billy, I'm available. Anyway, slime balls.
Yeah.
What next?
Like, the face says it all with Kyle. I'm like, who are these people? So you've got Sage Chance and Tommy Rant.
That is it.
Slimeball City is never pretty.
I had it written down to say it. You stole my thunder.
I'm sorry, my bad.
Slimeball City. They didn't compete this week, but they certainly left an imprint on the NWA for future.
I'm intrigued. I was kind of expecting a Nickelodeon-esque gunk tank.
That it's the NWA.
I kind of feel like that's a possibility.
Listen, they can get they've done a lot more. They've had riddle box matches and Knights of the Round.
They'll have it like in a blow up paddling pool, and it'll be filled with like slime. No,
and Aaron
don't
Stevens
give them ideas. Don't give them ideas.
And Aaron Stevens will be the one that gets it.
I actually went online and had a wee look to see a bit more about them after the show, so I'm going to watch a little bit more. Can't quite make up my mind about them yet. I think it's definitely going to be a tag team that I'm going to have to watch and see how they react and interact with the rest of the tag roster on NWA. But
yes,
I'm intrigued.
They've intrigued me enough, apart from I was laughing through the promo just because the Slimeball's name is brilliant. But we'll see. Hopefully they're dead because they're new signings to NWA, so we're going to see them at some point. Speaking of returns or returns of sorts, that brings us to our good friend, Mr. Tim Storr, who, well, they pretty much dropped a bombshell on us on this one. He is coming back to the ring full time. And more importantly than that, teaming with his friend, nemesis, friend, what do you call him? Frenemy?
Frenemy?
Frenemy,
Yeah.
Jax Dane. Now, that's a daunting prospect, isn't it?
It's really exciting. I am buzzing for this. I'm buzzing to see him back. Obviously, he's been on comms for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I think he's missed being in the ring. I know he's wrestled away from NWA over the last few years, but I genuinely feel like he's missed being in the ring. And obviously, with everything that happened at NWA 75, was it?
Yeah.
75,
five.
like, which one was it? What happened there was really, really disappointing for him. And I know that he was devastated with how that turned out. But to get back in the ring, I believe, is something that's quite exciting for him. I am totally looking forward to it. And he's got a match next week against Trevor and Burchill.
Yeah, not
Mike Knox.
Sorry, yeah, I was going to get
not
into next
Knox.
week's matches in a minute. But yeah, we might as well talk about it now. It's Jax Dane and Tim Storm versus Trevor Murdoch and Burchill, who wasn't successful in becoming a spectacular, and we'll get into that.
Oh, that's a shame.
Well, that's a cry. I'm sure he's really upset by that. We'll talk about the rest of those matches in a minute. But talking of tag teams, there was two new tag teams that were saw for the first time, which these guys, I'd never seen them before. Maybe I have, but wow, what a start.
I love this. When they first came out, I was like, what is this? Who are these people? Oh my God, they were brilliant. They were so entertaining. So we had, who was it? It was
Hollywood Hunter James and Aaron Thomas versus Jackson Drake and
Alexander Lev.
I've got Lev. I didn't hear his name. So
I was just like, the four of them looked great. Yes. They looked the part. They absolutely played the part.
Yeah.
They were flying about all over. There was tags everywhere. You've got a little bit of MMA style wrestling in it, a little bit of kickboxing in it, a little bit of flippy stuff, some holds, some submission moves. For four guys I've never seen before, which sometimes for me as a viewer and a fan can potentially distract me to the point that I'm not so invested in it.
Yeah.
They had me watching that match.
Yeah.
They really did. It's very easy for me to switch off if it's people I don't know. And that's maybe not a great trait to have for wrestling, because it means I potentially don't give people a chance.
Yeah.
But the four of them came out, and from the offset, I was like, whoa, hold on a minute. Okay, you've got my attention here now. So
big them up. They done really well. It was when Hollywood Hunter hits the Brain Bust Star, not Brain Bust Star, Brain Bust Star for the
since
win.
He is a Hollywood star.
He is. Hollywood Hunter and Adrian Thomas, pick up the win. Hopefully, we get to see both teams.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I'd love to see more of them in action.
I would. They were brilliant. I say first time I've ever seen the two teams, and we need to see more. Now I've got the rundown for next week written down. So we have the tag team match with Jackson.
Because I don't have it. I forgot that part.
No, I've got
My
bad. Tiffany Neves and what's it? Rupi J is next week as well. We have Mims versus Drake next week. And we have Latimer and Camille versus Idol and Markova next week.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
Interesting matches next week on Power. Lucky enough, we will get to see it. At least we hope. There was a bit of an
and also the tag, obviously, again, Sam and Jax versus Knox.
I did say that.
Did you say that?
I said that first. Yeah.
All right, sorry.
Don't worry.
I'm not doing well tonight.
You're not listening to me, are you? I mean, yeah. Another one doesn't listen to me. Can't get the staff these days. Don't even start with your charging for appearances. Now you're a poster girl. There was a training incident that aired before the main event. Sam Starr and Chelsea. Sam Starr was kind of doing stretches and warm-ups, and all of a sudden
she just went for poor Chelsea.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
What was
like
that?
What even was that all about?
I have no idea.
Like Chelsea, we've seen once in the ring, maybe twice, if we're lucky. I thought Samantha Starr was a nice human being. I might be very wrong.
Clearly, something got on her nerves, but you couldn't hear it. There was no sound. It was kind of sound was sort of going in and out by the looks of things, but you couldn't hear.
It was just security cam footage from inside the studio. So
Yeah. So it was very interesting to see what happens with that going forward. Hopefully they tell us a bit more next week.
yeah, I'm sure we'll hear more about it.
Now that we get onto the main event, which is our good friend Kerry Morton, Boo Kerry, and the Southern Six, Alex Taylor.
I'm getting less enthusiastic with the Boo Kerry. The more I see the three of them, the more I'm like, yay.
And Silas Mason against.
They're working their magic on me.
Well, if you're hot, you're hot, and if you're not,
there you go.
There you go. I should have just walked off.
You should have done. That would have been really funny, actually.
Yeah, I'm going to do that one day.
Oh no.
Spectaculars 1.0, including the new member, Mr. Midas. I will say this: the whole of the show, we never got one entrance until now. That was the only match that had entrances, or at least the Southern Six had entrances. Anyway, at that point. I feel as if Midas got the wrong end of a lot of stuff. There was that long vertical suplex, which they all took.
He was upside down for ages, so much so that they passed him from Silas to Kerry at one point, didn't they?
I mean, they all took turns, I think, at that at doing that.
That poor boy. That was a baptism of fire for him. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, welcome to this. So, welcome to the NWA and welcome to the Spectaculars. I mean, also Silas Mason hit a huge clothesline. I think it was on him as well, on Mr. Midas on this. There wasn't a lot with the other two. Rush and Rolando had a little bit of action, but they didn't see a lot of it.
Maybe that's why they've taken on another member, just so that they can get it doing and they two can have an easy ride.
Maybe it doesn't help that the fact that once again they didn't win. Which Billy was making a very fine point of during the auditions for the Spectaculars. I still need to send mine in. Perhaps we'll get Rush on soon. We are.
Can I have that as a Christmas present? Your Spectaculars audition tape.
I tell you what.
I'm going to go speak to Rachel. I'm like, get that sorted, love.
I tell you what we'll do.
I'll even send you a bow tie for it.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah. I tell you what we'll do. And I'm going to say this on the podcast now, so it's going to happen. We will get Rush on because we have been talking to Rush, and I will do my spectacular pose or the spectacular entrance.
Oh, I can't wait.
When we have Rush on. The time difference is just a killer bit at the minute, so we're just trying to work out a day that it can work. It'll be a very late podcast for us, but one that'll be very much worth it, especially because you'll get to see my spectacular entrance for that. But anyway, long story short, we get back to the match. Big boot, green whistle, big boot, green whistle, 1, 2, 3. Boo Kerry, Boo Southern Six. They get the win. Was I surprised? Probably not. But that was how Powerr ended. But a good win for the Southern Six.
It was. Poor Midas. Literally, my last words on my notes are poor Midas.
Poor Midas. Yeah, unfortunately he got the wrong end of that 6-man tag, which well, to be fair, he got along the wrong end of a lot of them moves as well from Billy.
Yep.
In there. Poor Midas. But next week, I think, is next week the last one before we get robots? I can't remember. We're on the 4th week next week.
I'm not sure what's happening here, actually. I don't know if they are. I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know. Okay. I think they take 5 shows in Nashville, I think.
So we've got 2 more then. That was potentially. One, right? So we've got 2 more potential ones before robots. Okay, so anyway, they're on the road to robots still on Powerr, even though they have recorded at robots. Obviously, that was last weekend, just gone over 1,000 people. That's going to be.
I know the photos from inside the arena looked incredible, and I have not seen any spoilers. Everyone has been amazing and not posted any results. So I'm so thankful, because I'd be pretty upset actually if I hate spoilers. So
yeah, I would like to know. I've seen a couple of photos of the ring. I think I saw one of Camille and Latimer.
And Tom,
Tom Latimer. So I keep calling him Latimer. He won't be happy with that. Tom Latimer during the entrance, and that was it. I haven't seen any more. So hopefully,
it looked so good. It looked really, really good, and the crowd. I have been told that the crowd really brought it and were loud and rowdy and just
They were pretty loud this week on Powerr.
They were.
Yeah,
That was
very.
good. I think the tapings were sold out though, so that was good.
It does show. I mean, it does make a difference. Not that it didn't before, but when they're loud and they play up, it's always nice. Especially as we mentioned with the Aaron Stevens and the Big Mama match, they were very much into that. And they went to the Killer Bees last week.
Yeah, and
Kids
the thing is,
together.
having been in the studios at the tapings as well, you're so close.
Yeah.
Like it's really hard to tell with the way the cameras are, but you're literally like sitting in the front row and you're no more than 2 foot away from the ring. There's just enough space for people to get past. So you can hear them talking to you. It's not like they're yelling from the
No.
ring back at you. If you say something, they are going to hear it and they are going to bite back at you. And then that just riles everyone up and the whole, it's so much fun.
Certainly is. Can't wait for next week. Next week's looking like a big action-packed show as well. Ben, talking of action-packed and busy, that brings me to you. What are you doing? You've got a lot of stuff coming up.
I've got loads coming up. So tomorrow night I am with Premier British Wrestling in Dumbarton at the final show of the year there. And then on Saturday we are in Kilwinning for the festivities for the switching on of the Christmas lights, which I'm okay with because I will not be wearing small lycra pants in the outdoor freezing cold. I will be dressed up and cozy and warm. I feel really sorry for the guys in the ring, but hey ho, them's the breaks you get. So I've got that, and then next weekend I'm trying to. Next weekend's huge for me. It's British Championship Wrestling. It's No Blood, No Sympathy weekend. It's 2 nights, double header. Night 1 in East Kilbride, and night 2 in Kilmarnock. I have worked with British Championship Wrestling for close on to 10 years now, just doing bits and pieces, mainly talent stuff and running around and merch and things. I started emceeing the smaller shows for Graham this year on our return back. And he quite publicly gave me quite publicly and quite unexpectedly all over social media announced that I would be emceeing the Kilmarnock show.
Yeah.
Which is quite a daunting prospect. I think it's about a 700 capacity. It's a beautiful, beautiful venue, a town hall with a big balcony and everything on it. It is one of the grandest wrestling venues you can probably get in Scotland. I have been going for years. There have been many, many, many famous names that have walked that ramp to that ring before me. Previous MCs have been incredible. I am not going to lie, I am feeling the pressure. I've got a new suit and everything for it.
You've been doing this podcast for so long, you'll be absolutely fine.
Yeah, it's just me and you here, though. There's no one else. It's fine.
Just picture me.
Okay, with your bow tie.
Oh.
So that's next weekend, and then who have we got on that show actually next weekend? Oh, we've got Scotty 2 Hottie next weekend, so he's up for that. So that's exciting. And then the weekend after that, I have a double header with Pro Wrestling Scotland and none other than former TNA star James Storm. So 2 nights with James, which will be always fun. It's always good to see James. I've known him for quite a few years, worked with him loads over the years as well. So I'm really excited to have him back in Scotland to do shows with him. And then I think I have a week off, and then it's Christmas, and then I have 3 shows on the.
You've missed two of the most important.
Oh my goodness! Well, wrestling shows. I'm not actual wrestling MC shows. I've got shows at the end of the year, and then I have Inside the Ropes in December. We have a Scotty 2 Hottie show next week in Glasgow, and then we have 3 nights with The Godfather on the 10th, 11th, and 12th. 10th in Glasgow, 11th in Manchester, 12th in London with Papa Shango and The Godfather, which I am very excited about.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Kenny, I forgot. Inside the Ropes, itrtix.com for them. I think there's still some general admission left. I'm not so sure about the VIPs for the meet and greets.
You're so excited that you forgot to mention it. Kenny, it's not on, mate.
I'm sorry. Don't sack me. I love that job.
Don't sack Theo. No. Just have a word, Kenny.
Wrist slap.
Yeah. Well, we finished up obviously Monday with part 1. We didn't realize we were getting a part 2 with Eric Bischoff, but he very kindly decided that it was Thanksgiving over there. He had a turkey on the grill. We can't keep him away from his family. I didn't even know he had family there. I knew he was going away because he mentioned it, but he didn't mention he had family. So he took an hour out of his time with his family to come and talk to us Monday. We're so very grateful, and he's coming back.
Please go and check it out. Please go and check it out. Eric is a superstar. I love him to death. Please go and look at it and have a listen and leave us some comments, because it would be really appreciated.
And if you have any questions for part 2 of Eric Bischoff, we do have some questions already, but if you have although he won't like those questions because they are hypothetical, but that's just the nature of a lot of the fan questions you have in are going to be hypothetical questions, but he doesn't generally like them, but he'll answer it in the way that he does. And he was brilliant on Monday, loved every minute of that. So we thank him for that, and we thank him for agreeing to come on a second time. Totally unexpected, and we were
that kind of caught us off guard, didn't it?
It did, and then I got messing around going, "Oh my god, we got a part 2." I was like, "Yeah." I was trying to hold that in when he was saying that. It was anyway, great to have it. So Eric will be coming back on, and he's doing a lot of work with Apex Wrestling. As you can see, there was an announcement earlier on this week that in 2024 we are going to be crowning our first ever Apex Women's Champion. So with Apex, so like we do with Ignite, we got the turnbuckle title with Ignite. We're going to have the Women's Championship with Apex. Not so sure where and when or whatever, but suffice to say, we've had a few of the women that we know on the scene message us with very happy about that announcement that we're making. So a lot of work being done. I think Andy's even doing commentary with Apex. He's normally got a face.
That's exciting.
He's got a face for radio. And now he's going to be on.
Oh, bless him. He hates me at the moment. Cowboys versus Commanders tonight. Go Cowboys.
Oh,
that's all I'm going to say.
This will come out. Well, the audio will be out tonight, but the video will be out Friday, and we will see who gets bragging rights for that.
I should have worn my Cowboys jersey tonight just to annoy him. Sorry, Andy. Love you.
You should have done. Very, very bad. He's actually on Talk Sport tonight, or he's recorded for Talk Sport tonight.
That's cool.
Those Washington losers that don't seem to win games. But anyway, I'm going to keep talking about that. Let's not talk any further. Otherwise, we'll go on a tangent. Yeah, we've got Eric Bischoff coming on. Oh, go.
There was one thing that we have missed, just NWA. They've announced their next pay-per-view for the 13th of January in Fort Lauderdale. It is not Hard Times, though. Originally, they'd said it would be Hard Times, and it is not Hard Times. It has got a completely different name, which has slipped my mind, and I have not written it down. So it is not Hard Times, but 13th of January, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I believe ticket information may be coming out on Friday.
Well, that's caught me totally off guard. I didn't even know that. So that is my journalistic integrity has gone out the window. Whatever journalistic integrity I had.
No, Kyle was talking about it on the show on Monday night that he does with Gary and Danny.
There you go. That's why I didn't know. But anyway, we've got a lot more stuff coming up, but we'll talk about that near time. We've got sponsorships that we're going to talk about very, very soon. We can start announcing a few. I can't go into who they are yet. But
fair enough. We've got Jared Fritz coming on soon as well, yeah?
God almighty, Monday night. Sorry, Jared. I didn't mean to totally forget that we're interviewing you on Monday night. Jared Fritz, the NWA referee, will be talking to me and Fiona Monday, so that will go out on Tuesday. We're going to have a Monday night with Jared talking about everything, the broken skull or Stone Cold Steve.
No, that's exciting. I'd actually totally forgotten about that, and he posted it the other day, and I was like, okay, I want to know more about that. Absolutely.
And about Ref Fit as well.
Yes, very much so. Jared's brilliant. I like him a lot, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he's got to say. He's got some interesting stories to tell, I'm sure. And
it will be your debut on In Ringside View, which is what the show is going to be about, because it's about things away from it's about not interviewing a wrestler. So we don't interview a wrestler, we interview a referee or a commentator or a promoter. It's Ringside View, so it's your Ringside View debut.
That's exciting. Oh, that's good stuff's happened this year. I love this.
There you go.
Living my best life.
The big hits keep on coming on this show. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for listening in. And we just chat stuff and go off on tangents and God knows what else and spectacular entrances and anything else. that we were talking about. But she has been the lovely, wonderful Fiona Lochran. I have been I would say the wonderful host, but I've been your host for this evening, Adam Cousins. Until next time, everybody. Before that, check us out on all social medias at HTT Buckle, where you can search Hitting the Turnbuckle on all other social platforms and you will see us. But until next time, everybody, I'm going to go and get some sleep. Buckle down and stay safe.